What's up guys, Nathan here, playing some more Team Fortress 2, and in this video I will be bringing you a breakdown of the new heavy minigun, the Huelong Heatmaker, which was released August 2nd. As of right now, it is August 3rd, so let's get into this breakdown video. So, if you are new to TF2 or have not heard about this update, the Huelong was one of 4 weapons released for the Scout, Pyro, Heavy, and then the Spy, but anyway, the stats on this weapon are that it sustains a ring of flames while deployed, although the con to this effect is that it costs 6 ammo per second while this minigun is spinning up. So before I get into the actual breakdown of this weapon, a quick note about the gameplay. We were on defense for this round and it's pretty long, so I'm actually going to skip a large part of it where I was basically sitting next to a dispenser spot checking for my engineer buddy, and that is actually one thing that needs to be discussed about this weapon, is deploying it while next to a dispenser. So getting into the actual breakdown of this weapon, in the 10 or so matches I've played so far with this weapon, a lot of people seem to think it's OP. They've typed that in chat and I've heard people discuss it. But I can see their point, because really with this weapon, the 6 ammo per second while deployed, it's not really that noticeable. I haven't really specifically noticed it, and even when I was low on ammo, usually there is an ammo kit nearby that I can just pick up, but the effect for the Ring of Fire does seem a bit overpowered, although once again that is not my opinion, because I don't know, I've also saw on a comment on one of the YouTube videos I've seen is that somebody said that the fire aspect should be unique to Pyro alone, because they've given it to the Heavy now, which they thought just wasn't right, and I can see their point there too. So why isn't this minigun overpowered? Well, aside from lighting 2 dead ringer spies on fire, which I've done in my whole time using this minigun, is that the fire effect doesn't really do much other than lighting spies on fire a little bit, and also maybe alerting you if there's somebody behind you. But even then, I have been backstabbed so many times while firing this weapon, so it doesn't really do that much to spies. And plus, with the fire damage from the fire ring, really how much damage does that do? Well, it does about 30, and 30 is a generous estimate because that's assuming that the enemy lets the fire do maximum damage to them and just lets it burn out, and they don't get a med pack or anything. So really, all around, the fire effect isn't that noticeable, other than, I suppose, looking cool, and maybe like pointing out your position to enemies, because, I mean, they can see that from all the way across the map. But anyway, so yeah, the whole ammo thing isn't really that noticeable. I mean, even if you do run out of ammo, you can just go and pick up a gun or any ammo kits that are lying around. I mean, that's a thing. But, and plus the fire effect, it doesn't really stop spies. Maybe it lights them on fire, and then they can, I mean, heck, they can just dead ring, and then the fire goes away from them. However, one thing does need to be addressed with this minigun, and that is the ability for a Heavy to stand next to a dispenser and basically spam their brains out, or actually they can just basically hold down their right mouse click so that your minigun is spun up, and basically they'll just have the fire ring around them forever, protecting that engineer. And although a Pyro could sacrifice himself to do the same thing, it's different with a Heavy, because a Heavy can shoot far targets, whereas a Pyro would constantly have to spam his flamethrower, and he wouldn't be able to like take out a shotgun and shoot distant targets as well. So in my opinion, I think an appropriate nerf would be the disability to gain ammo from dispensers, so that Heavies cannot just spam whenever they want in the middle of the battlefield and have that ring of fire around them constantly. So one other thing I found with this minigun, actually, it's actually a tip, is that you can have your minigun pretty much half spun up and not have that fire ring around you wasting your ammo. So basically what you do is you hold right click long enough so that the fire ring is almost activated, and then you just let it go and then press right click again so that your minigun starts spinning up again, because actually the fire ring does not activate right away when you start spinning up your minigun. It takes about a second for it to activate and start draining your ammo. So that is one thing you can actually do to still be able to move yet have your minigun spun up a little bit and not sucking your ammo. One other thing that I just thought of as well with the whole dispenser aspect and standing next to them is that maybe the Heavy is meant to gain ammo from the dispensers, and maybe Valve wanted him to maybe not be so offensive with running out of ammo, and maybe he's just meant to sort of stay back near the engineer nest and gain ammo and stuff. But really, that's just a guess, more of a possibility than a probability. But anyway, to sum up my opinion on this weapon, it's not really fair, but it's not really overpowered either, because really what I think is that when you pair up the aspect of fire, just having fire, when you pair that with something like the Heavy's minigun, which is supposed to cause the most damage in the game, really, people are going to think it's overpowered, no matter what kind of nerf you put on it. So that's going to take us to the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a rating. I really appreciate it. And if you like TF2, feel free to subscribe. I bring lots of that. But anyway, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Mission ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Victory.